Good morning, guys. So today I was supposed to head to the city and do some street photography, but I got up and I looked at the sky and it was pretty grey, and then I looked at the weather, it said 100% chance of rain, and it actually turned out to be a not bad day. I don't know, maybe it'll start raining later. Part of me wishes I just went, but it is what it is. So instead, I thought I would chat about something that's been in the news a lot lately. That's Australia's proposed social media ban. So Australia is proposing to ban access to Instagram, TikTok, and pornography to people under the age of 16 or 14.
Government is promising action. But will a blanket social media ban keep them any safer?
From a survey of 20,000 Year 10 students finding teens who use TikTok, Reddit and Twitch report lower life satisfaction than those who don't.
Social media has a social responsibility. They're not above everyone else.
But some experts say the move is problematic.
This is a very blunt instrument that's going to potentially exclude children from some very, very helpful supports on social media.
There's a lot of pros and cons with social media. There's a lot of great, positive stuff out there. I endeavour to put out positive content, which I hope uplifts people and puts smiles on their faces. But there's also a lot of negative stuff out there as well. There's also a lot of misinformation, and the way that these algorithms are set up is they're made to keep us on the apps. They don't care if we're getting positive or negative content. They don't care if they're negatively shaping our minds and opinions. All they care about is keeping us on these apps. And that's the big negative to impressionable minds being on social media, because I recently talked about my negative social media habits and how I purposely started detoxing from Instagram. And since I've been off Instagram, I've been feeling so much better. And I know I sound a little bit hypocritical, a lot hypocritical, because I still do post on social media for work on the short form apps. I'm not against them. As I was saying, there's a lot of good on them, but I think for kids especially, they need to be more regulated. And I think these big tech companies need to be held more accountable for the way that their algorithms are set up and the way that they're purposely designing them to be addictive when they know all the harm that it's doing, all the bullying that's happening, all the body image issues that's happening, all the things that people are doing. Just try to keep up with what's on social media. And I don't think a social media ban is ever gonna happen in the way that they're proposing. At this point in time, there's going to be too many ways to get around it. Even if they set up face verification, whatever they want to do, people are going to use VPNs, pretend that they're in other countries. There's always going to be ways around it. So I don't think this ban is going to happen, but I'm glad that they're proposing it, because it's going to lead to a lot more open discussions like what I'm having with you guys right now. Because as a parent, I want to delay where they're on social media or on their own as long as I possibly can. We sometimes go on TikTok and we scroll together with, you know, all the parental controls on, and still bad stuff comes through with that. And I make sure I'm monitoring all of this when we're doing it, because I don't trust these apps to have my kids on their own, and I don't think you guys should either. So my opinion is that it's not necessarily a bad thing that they're proposing this ban that I don't think will happen, and even if it does happen, kids are gonna get around. But I hope that this leads to a larger conversation where these big tech companies are held more accountable for the way that their algorithms work and the negative impact that it is having on our kids. And I also wanted to share something with you guys that I saw recently, and it really shows the way that the algorithm is negatively impacting the way that we see the world.
This is the most insane example of how everyone is experiencing completely different social medias at the exact same time. Like, this video, my boyfriend said he'd be over by 3 after golfing, and like it's just her every half an hour taking a video saying, oh, he's still not here, and it gets to like 5 or 6 p.m. and he's still not here. Okay, I opened the comments of this video, and kind of as I expected, everyone was saying, oh, that's really rude, it's the disregard of her time, I don't like him, did he communicate with you? If not, then that's a red flag. Okay, fair enough, you know. I send this video to my boyfriend who was sat next to me, and then I said to my boyfriend, lol, look at the comments. Bear in mind, these comments were coming up at the top of the list, so as soon as you open the comments, these are the ones that came up for me. Tell me why my boyfriend opens the comments on his phone, that again, it's the first list of comments that come up, it's the same time, on the same video, or you could get your own hobby instead of waiting around for him. Like, God forbid he has a good time, he meant before 3 a.m, he's ahead of schedule. No wonder we're all so divided when you can look at the same comments on the same video and it'll change them based on who you are, and I presume based on like other activity in the app. Like, because people look at the comments of a video to gain perspective and see how everyone feels about that video. Like, I do that, I think everyone does that. So if we're looking at it from 2 completely different angles, and the only thing that I can assume really that's that different about our interactions with Instagram is that he's a guy and I'm a girl, and so obviously these are all like on his side and all of mine were on her side. What? Also, obviously there are millions of other examples why we're so divided, but this is not helping. Like, also in this specific situation, in like any of these situations, it doesn't necessarily matter which party is actually in the right. What matters is the fact that people are being fed completely different takes on media. And like, I tried to scroll to find the comments that were on his, and I couldn't find them. It's insane.